And so we want to make sure that nobody closes our.
As long as they don't close the OBS, we're fine.
Okay.
Which they should. The key challenge we always had before is that we had people would go in and close Chrome down,
Yes.
or they would log out of Chrome and then that would throw everything off. But
Okay,
yeah,
that's
they're
not
not going to mess.
problem.
Yeah, they're not going to mess with OBS.
Okay, good.
Anything I need to prepare?
Yeah, you built.
For today's show?
Jesse, you got your build for today? Milestone review? Okay. Very soon. We're almost ready. Who else is here? Zachary.
For the build for my video prepared or updated is hard to move. I took a photo up on his and want to come and check it out. Because I can probably get the video done by the weekend, but I'd like to just have something for today, bring you over to the laptop and show you, got all this stuff and then get a video probably. Is that all right?
That's fine for today. Please be ready to show whatever you have in front of everybody. And video capture is also going to be recorded.
Yeah, it's not that I don't have the stuff for it, it's just, this was a very odd building. We were just trying to hammer out one last bug to get it to happen, so, yeah, but okay.
Get it in there as soon as possible. You bet.
Okay, so I'll run upstairs and watch the stream and
Okay.
see.
You have my
I'll be back
text?
down. If, yeah,
Okay.
I'll text you or come back down if there's issues. Or
Alright, sounds good. Alright, Liz, you can go ahead and load on now. We are live streaming, so you are being recorded. Careful what you say. And just make sure you don't close down OBS and we'll be fine.
What? Power?
Yeah, power cord.
Hey, Lynn. I sent you an email about like 6 questions on information. Did you get that?
I got your email, but I haven't had a chance to read
Okay,
it
cool.
yet.
Just making sure.
Is it 6
How do
questions?
I go into?
Yeah, it's the same
Okay.
questions. Thanks.
I think I have a canned answer for that by now.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah, you bet.
So we don't have to, or we actually don't have a build today, just because some people didn't push for what they were supposed to.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in the evening.
So it's just a presentation in PowerPoint.
Okay. And also, I'm going to call on you to go ahead and talk a little bit about the game jam, just briefly.
Okay.
Tell us a little
tell me
recap,
when.
so we can congratulate you.
Just tell me when.
Top their information in there for purposes and their secretive purposes.
Right.
So I just put our stuff. That's okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Cool.
Good morning.
I hope you have Consa Clicker.
I don't. I'm not working on Consa Clicker.
Sorry. Which one are you working on?
Calcord.
Oh, you guys turned around.
Yes, we are.
So is Donald going to be here this morning?
Yeah, he just he's getting picked up by someone else because their car's out of commission right now.
Okay. So you guys lost on the list. You still want to call it Do's My Business?
I mean, that's our team name.
Is it? Okay.
We just kept that as a team name. So that way, if anybody wants to call us that, they can.
And I think everybody's here. Good morning. How are you? Pretty good. Pretty good. Last minute Alright, Leeds, can I have you up here for just a moment, please?
I can just go ahead because I
Yeah, you're supposed to tell us where you're at.
Concord isn't here yet, so.
Sorry. You're the stand-in. Okay. Everybody is sissy. Okay, so we are live streaming right now, and so we have our online contributors with us this morning also, so if you have them on your team, make sure to address them. And that will be on YouTube later if you want to go ahead and do that. Regular schedule, we don't have itineraries for today. Ben's not here, but we will have all our usual meetings. So Jesse, you're going to tell us a little bit about the game jam and the outcome there here for just a few minutes before we get started. So I hope you all are ready. This is the good day, milestone review. And you're also going to be prepping your teams for the next sprint log. So we'll talk about that in the leads meeting coming up about 1 o'clock. Make sure your team has all the cell phones off and you know to use that door, and we'll get started. All right.
Can we get the bill? Yeah. I didn't know it was going to be live stream. Do I still present?
You can present which has as much discretion as you can. If you need to have that turned off, we'll take you.
Okay, it says presentation. That's all I have, so it's all pics, and then I have a video and a flyby.
Okay. So I'll be right here, and we'll take you back to the most I can do.
Here's the whole thing, yeah. Because it's not really supposed to be presented until we get approval. Okay, no.
So what we'll do is we'll take you back.
Okay.
Handle it that way. Just remind me when we shut you down there.
I'll let the client know next time, and then.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. All right. Welcome. If you haven't signed in, make sure that you're signing in. There are no itineraries. today. Kevin's out sick today, so he should be on our live stream. We are live streaming today for our online folks, and he should be there viewing the milestone reviews also. So I hope all of your work is in those bills. I'm excited to see how much work you've gotten done over the last 4 weeks. 4 weeks already. We're going to number 5, so that's almost really close to midterm. Can't believe that already. All right, so same schedule for today as usual. If you don't know where you should be during the day, make sure you hang close to your leads and they'll be able to tell you. At 1 o'clock we break for our discipline meetings. I don't see Hugh Henry in the house or Derek Clark, so do go ahead and be self-sufficient. If they do not show for you, Josh, you're taking the art folks today, and I'll meet the leads upstairs in our usual location at 1 o'clock. Today's goals are to make sure that your milestone reviews are done. Everything that's been done up to this point in the shell is completed, and everybody has their new tasks. Sprint planning is essential for today. But as we get started today, we're going to see those milestone builds, and make sure that you're taking notes or mental notes so that you can contribute to your team later when you do your sprint log planning. Welcome. Make sure you sign in. All right, so Founders Day holiday, big event. Jesse, I'm going to have you talk a little bit about the game jam and what went on there. But first, we want to congratulate you and your team for 2nd place. So give them a hand. All right.
Over here.
So big, yeah, right here. You're on the spot. So big prizes for this Founders Day Jam. We also had some pros coming in with a nice fat multi-million-dollar seed fund that we're trying to attract in. But these folks are going to go to Indicate in LA, so fantastic. Oh, I'm sorry.
We're not important.
Okay, fix that. Stereosect actually won the first prize, so they didn't? That's from Ben.
So there was some outside group that came in. Apparently they shorted somewhere. They finally got their first win, and they got sent out in the party getting sent out. Then we came right behind them, and then I don't remember who was in 3rd place.
Me.
Yeah. And then Parasec's getting able to are allowed to go out there because they had a game previously and they took that and used their technology for voice and just implemented it better than pretty much everything else. So they're like, hey, you guys are really good at that.
So they impressed the guys that had the deep pockets, so that's the way to go.
It is.
Fantastic. All right, well, congratulations one more time. And his team also for 3rd place. Excellent job, guys. All right. As I call your name, come on up. Let's get through these milestone builds as quickly as possible today and on to our planning. So, Jesse, we're going to start with you since you're here.
All right, hello everyone. My name is Jesse Rogers. If you didn't already know, I'm the lead for Couch Game. Like normal, with every semester in the production studio, the first couple weeks is going to be extremely slow for everyone. Getting everybody's tasks settled, getting everybody on Axosoft, all the other softwares. So not too much got done. Unfortunately, we don't get to show you a build due to some of the pushes haven't been getting in. But we can show some of the things that we've already been working on. Character animations, yay! Lion, he got all keyframed. He's going to be getting put in this sprint, which I'm super excited for. So we'll have 3 out of 4 characters done. We just got to get that pelican, and then we'll be ready to release it to some people to play. Some other things we've been messing with. Obviously, our big goal this semester is to polish up our levels. So the hazards are getting in, models are getting fixed, art, all that stuff. Some things we've been messing with is fracturing. So you kind of see the whole thing just kind of cave in. That's going to be pretty interesting to see. It's gonna be fun to program and all that stuff. Some art has changed over the time. We got a new kind of layout for our level select. Instead of actual buttons that you go or highlight over and select, we're just gonna show it with A to start, select for options, that sort of thing. It's a cleaner look. We've also kind of adjusted with like a black outlining so things don't pop so much in your face and hit your eyes. It's kind of hard to see on this one, but over on the side and then the little panel down below, we've started getting our tasks for scoring, so players will now actually have a reason to win other than just bragging rights. And just to show you guys some things, we have a lot of tasks to get done. It's going to be a heck of a ride. We've been concepting a lot of things, so environmental crate, that's going to be a thing. So like spikes, I know we had someone working on that. It'll be placed down. There'll be actual hazard people will have to avoid. There's quicksand, that's going to be a thing for the Coliseum level, so players will actually get stuck in there. There's a bunch of different stuff we're working on, and can't wait to give it to you guys. So follow us like normal, Facebook, Twitter. We're going to start trying to push that stuff out more, and yeah, thank you.
Howdy folks, my name is Harlan, lead for Project Oddity. So we have a thrown together build that we can actually show off a little bit. So a lot of what we used to show you was a lot of white boxing art, so we actually were able to implement a lot of the 3D models to allow for more dynamic features, and we've also reworked some of the camera work too. But yeah, I was up till about 4 this morning trying to make sure that a lot of these graphics got in and looked pretty decent. Roger was also a very big help with implementing everything, but we can move between rooms, and we pretty much just did a major overhaul on cleaning up the systems, cleaning up graphics, and time works. We've just got to get everything moving along now, content-wise. Oh, that's right, we took out the dialogue. So, yeah, dialogue was not one of the last things to get put in smoothly, but besides that, it is in there. We just got to clean up a few little lines of code. But yeah, you're still able to interact with people. You can move between the rooms. Everything is being updated. I just got to clean up some of the lighting and get things just polished a little bit more. But yeah, we've mostly done a big overhaul on camera mechanics, smoothing out programming, and a lot of the graphics have been updated and now implemented. And now we just got to do a bit more polishing visually and finish the last bit of planning for day 2, implement it into the game, and then we should be rolling. And the demo should be done by then. But yeah, that's about it.
Okay, concept clicker.
So hello everyone, Constant Clicker here. A lot of our tasks ended up being more multidisciplinary. So we have right now the current linchpin of the system, the main thing you're going to see when you're starting to play the game, which is basically the buying the building. And so yeah, there's buttons to purchase. And then grade 1, you're able to drag the buildings because we want to allow the player to decide how they want to build their town. And within this, it's also the system to save your variables into the actual phone or PC that you'll be using, which is rather interesting because we want it to allow to accrue monetary and currency throughout not playing the game. So it's just a quick check on basically where it's going to go to. Aside from that, our artists have been concepting out pretty much everything. So now that we have a basis, they'll be able to start actually creating the 3D models and the 2D assets that we need to start implementing them. Our design teams are pretty much finished with the UI. It's now we got to get the art for that as well. It's the great thing about having such a simple game is that a lot of the tasks that we have are multidisciplinary, so we just have it planned out. So one sprint was going to have most of the system done, and the next one we'll actually see the implementation due to other teams having to have their hands into the pie. It's really amazing seeing how everything falls down. Yeah, it's pretty much what we have.
Fantastic, thank you. All right, Calc Lord, you're up.
All right.
Hello everyone, this is Calclord. Donald is a little late, so I'm here to sub for him. And for our first milestone, we've been working on like concept stuff, doing some research on what, specifically what third grade would be, what kind of curriculum the third grade math is. That's what the whole thing is RPG about. Oh. So use some of the armor concepts, some of the models for some armor. Back end, I believe this is what our programmers worked on. I'm not too sure, but just working on all the menus and whatnot. Here's some more temporary menus. Maybe we'll get to the register, and then it's mainly just like a simple title menu.
It's functioning too, like that actually connected the server, so the stores need to shut down.
Yeah, alright.
And that looks your information too. So we're just testing two different examples to see which one we like more.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. Alright. There's that. There's design prototype. The prototype for one of the mini games that we plan on having. This one is enemies come towards you, and then like the purple ones, you shoot them, and you have to. What was the?
So you click the model to like the answer for each equation. I just put like sample equations. I didn't put what would actually be like representative of the third grade material. And yeah, so you click the bottom, and then you can type in the power of your shot, and then you kill them, and then you're trying to get 5 energy so that you can kill the boss with the special report.
Yeah. Alright. Okay. This is some of the GUI menus that I've worked on. This one is the character creator. This one is one of the equipment screens that I've worked on. And then this is the main menu that shows all like your quests for each subject, separated in like a little box. And then this is like a simple map, and then like a little boss. And then so we still need to start building stuff for the actual interface and start working on weapons, armor, all the item stuff that we just need to start making a bunch of those. And then also need to work on the avatar systems. Like there's going to be like a special room where the avatar, where it's like a little base thing. I gotta work on stuff for that. And that's it.
Alright, Source Watch, come on up. Tell us what you're doing.
Unfortunately, did not get a video prepared. I was kind of sick this week, but I do know what we got done this week. We got everything for our first sprint done. We started with laying the groundwork for how we needed to update it. Because we're not building it in Unity or building it in Unreal 4, we don't necessarily have builds. What we do have is a game mode on a server, and what we have set up is a GitHub repository that is connected to a file transfer protocol. So basically, our programmers just need to go in and edit the file, and it gets snapped right to the server. So it's very easy for them to update and develop. We got health kits working and ammo kits working. We've figured out our design for the resource system and how cooldowns are going to work with that, though we have not implemented them into a character just yet. Well, we've implemented a test character, but that is going to be our next sprint, is getting our first actual custom classes in with all of their abilities. And I believe we also fixed our map up. We moved flags where they needed to be, got spawn protection working, and have really just shaped up all of the groundwork that we needed. And now we're just going to be moving on to pumping out as many characters as fast as we can.
Alright, Calc Lord, we just heard from you that Donald is in, so we'll see if there's anything that you want to add there.
I'll add it. I closed it out.
Okay, so I'm not sure what you guys talked about. Sorry for being late. My car's in the shop for the next week. So, Calculate over the first milestone, we're moving from pre-production into production. So that means we've got a lot of ramping up time, especially with our game, as we have to have a lot of metrics tracking and back-end infrastructure, so that way we can achieve, the store, tracking all of the metrics for the teachers, having accounts be stored in the cloud across devices. So for the first milestone, we had our artists working on armor sets and environment concepts, modeling the concepts that they created. We had our programmers working on creating back-end examples, and then we also had our designers working on design prototypes for mini games and going through and making examples for what we can do with our GUIs. That way we've got a bunch of different options. We can figure out what's going to be best for the kids. So here are some of the armor concepts. All of these are being turned into 3D models, as you can see here. It's a process. We're just focusing on third grade for now, which is this kind of chibi 3D model art style. We have a bunch of different examples of our backends. Here's one that's just it's much more simpler. You just put in an ID, it authenticates that, and then you can add and be given and lose points as you purchase things. The more in-depth example is actually registering the player, then authenticating the fact that they have an account and that they should be active, then being able to make changes to their save state and then load that save state. So let's skip to the end. You can put information in, and then when you load, it'll give the player ID and all the various changes that are made. So that's going to be useful for us for making sure that the players' points are stored across devices as they do quizzes and take practice tests and such, and also that any currency they have or items they have are also shared. So that way you don't, play it on the computer at school and then go home and try and play some on your phone, and then you don't have any of your stuff. And then we've got a simple example of one of our mini games. We've got a wide breadth that we need to try out because we have to see, what's going to appeal most to kids. So we've got, more action-based mini games like this. We're also working on more like building type mini games where you're dragging blocks into certain places based on the mathematic answers, things like that. And so here you type in the amount that is the answer for whatever multiplication question is above the enemy's heads, and then you shoot them with the arrow, and then if you're right, you get energy, and if you're wrong, you lose health. And then we also have, these are just a few of the different GUI screens we're working on. We're trying to get multiple iterations of each GUI screen, so that way we can see, what's working best in a particular one, put that in front of some kids, so that way we get a little bit of feedback. Because for our GUI screens, we need to make sure that everything is as intuitive possible, so that way there's very little learning curve. So that way the kids don't spend, 2 weeks learning how to use our app, and then, miss out 2 weeks of education they could be getting. Our next steps is to actually choose on a user interface, bring that into game,
and then start implementing with the avatar system and the items that you put on your avatar. And so that's what we're going to be working on these next, probably our next 2 milestones. We're going to be focused solely on those. And that's it. Thanks.
Okay, Ralph, come on down. Now, this next project is a pro project with an NDA, so at this point we're going to go ahead and shut off our live stream. And we again thank you for our online contributors being a part of what we do, and we will see you later in the shell. Stop recording.